Alright, so here is the second mini game next to Cat and Mouse for PGR2. This is called Last Man Standing, also known as Last Man. This is a fun mini game created also by fans that is coordinated through in-game communication with the mics. It requires a full lobby, usually. That's the best way to play it. And obviously everyone to have a mic in-game. Discord's nice, but the in-game mic is so much better. Definitely preferred. That being said, let's get started on how it works. So what you're doing is you're getting everyone in the party and to change to the Honda Integra, or the best top-heavy but also lightweight kind of car that's slow, or medium speed, I guess. And in this case we did the Integras. They're perfect for this. You could probably also do it with the Honda S2000, but the Integras are better because they can be wrecked easier. How it works is you all do a race normally, the first one normal, and you can race a little dirty. And how it works is the person to get first in the first race, they change their car to the TVR. Now, the TVR is the best one because it is the fastest. You can catch up easily, and you can, try to outmaneuver the person you have to wreck. What I mean by that is once the first guy becomes the TVR, their goal is to wreck whoever is in first place every time a new race starts. And whoever gets last on the continuous cycle here, they keep changing to TVRs, and it creates more TVRs. So it's kind of like Infection from Halo, in a way, because it's a rinse and repeat process of who becomes a TVR, and it's kind of like you're infecting everyone, right? Because you're placing in last. So once again, we'll break this down. Every time a new race is complete, the next person that gets last has to change to a TVR or a fast car. And eventually it gets down, and then keep in mind their goal is to wreck whoever's in first, or to stop, to try to stop them. Eventually it'll get down to the last two Integras in this case, or the last two slow cars, and that becomes the final race, which gets moved to Nürburgring. You got to change the track to Nürburgring when there's two slow cars left. Later on in the video you'll see that it gets down to the last two. When it gets down to the last two, the TVR's goal is still to wreck the guy in first. Now that's the showdown, because they're trying to wreck the guy in first the entire race on Nürburgring. It's very strategic at how the last two guys that are in the Integra race, because they got to time it really well on, whether they should be ahead or whether they should be behind. But eventually, it will come down to that the guy in the end that got away, or slipped away from the other guy getting wrecked. But once that guy places first out of those last two, he wins, and that's it. That's the end of the minigame, which will be demonstrated in a speed up here and a fast forward, and you'll see. But that's pretty much how it works. I can't stress this enough. If you are a TVR, your goal is not to wreck the other slow cars. You're only wrecking that one guy that's in first. And you also don't want to go up there and win the race either. You don't want to be in the lead. Your goal is to stop the guy in the lead. So in this video, you'll see that, there are a few players that were up there in the TVRs in the beginning, and that's That's a great example of what not to do. You don't want to win with the TVR. You just want to stop the first guy. You're trying to wreck him. That's your goal. The guy in first. And that's pretty much it. So, we do these mini games pretty often when we get a full lobby. Come out to our Discord and we'll get you started on it. We'll get you in. Make sure you have an in-game mic. And that's pretty much it. And come have some fun. All right. That is Last Man.